Welcome to itdesk.tv. Welcome to itdesk.tv. So a subscriber just sent in some questions. Sent in, what is this? Paper 2, I think it was the CSEC IT examination, paper 2, and asked us if we could just go through it. So I want to take my time with this one, so I'm going to go through this paper. I'm going to just do number 1 and go through all the different sections of it and explain in detail so that you understand the approach you need to take to computer science in order to be successful with these examinations. All right, so it says number 1, the Caribbean Development Bank plans to fund a project to establish a meteorological station in a Caribbean island to forecast and monitor weather conditions in the region. The type of computer system suitable for this project is a supercomputer. State 2 reasons why a supercomputer is suitable for this project. Alright, so the main reasons for a supercomputer, the first one is the power of the supercomputer. Alright, the processing power or the computational power. So that would be number 1. Due to the speed and power of the computer, that would be a good reason to use a supercomputer for a meteorological station. That's 1, the speed and the power, the computational power of those machines. The second reason would be the real-time nature that you could get the results, because you'll need the results immediately, and that's why that's the one of the main reasons why supercomputers are what they are. Super. You could use a regular computer and get the results, but it will take you till maybe next week to get the weather results when the storm has already hit. All the damage is already done. You'd still get the results just a week later. That won't work. So the 2 reasons I would say right here, based on my experience and which I know to be true, is that the computational power and speed of a computer of the supercomputer is, as it says, super. It's superior. And then the next reason is the real-time nature, the real-time results that you get from supercomputers. So that would be the answer to question 1A. Let's look at question 1B. It says the local area networks of stakeholders throughout the Caribbean region are to be connected to the supercomputer to form a wide area network using telecommunication lines. 1. Identify the most important hardware device that is necessary for this connection. Well, let's see. So we're going to be connected using our lines. In Jamaica, we got flow. We got lines coming to our homes. The only way that you can connect to that, and that which has to be the answer to this question, is via the use of a router. Alright, so the most important device that stakeholders will need in order to be connected to the wide area network, and I believe that to be the key in the question. How do you connect to the wide area network? You're going to need a local area network, and that doesn't work without a router. So the answer, router. B2 says, state the role of the hardware device identified in B1. All right, this is for 2 marks. The role. All right, so there are protocols on the internet, and so the router acts as an intermediary between your local area network that's at your home or at the different islands that's going to be using the system. You have a local area network, and the router is the intermediary connecting the local area network to the wide area network where the supercomputer resides. So that's the main reason for that device. Also, the second one would be there are protocols on the internet, okay, that the router is configured for. So let's say, for example, there are 8 lanes on the internet. I'm just saying, for example, and communication is conducted in lane 3. Your router is able to ensure that requests go to lane 3 and get to the supercomputer in the most efficient and effective way. And when the responses are coming back, it's configured in such a way again to ensure you get back the data real time in the most efficient way. So routers are doing things like those, so you don't have to think about that. It takes care of all the protocols and all that's already established, and it takes care of the intermediary stuff to make networks talk. The one that you have in your home, the one at your business, the one at the school, those are local area networks. But you're able to connect to a bigger network on a Caribbean scale now. That's the wide area network, which consists of multiple local area networks all coming together to form one network. And that's why it's called wide. And the one that you have at your location is called local. So that would be the role of the router. Let's look at C. For 2 marks again, it says, state 2 examples of industries other than weather forecasting in which supercomputers are still being used. Well, that's easy. Gaming, it's still used there. You have space, aerospace, they use it there. Military, they use it there. Where else? They use it. It's almost used everywhere. I even think they're using it at Facebook. Entertainment. Supercomputers are being used anywhere that requires extensive processing power and you need real-time data. So that's C. Let's move on. I thought it would be harder. All right, so let's see. D. State, and I didn't prepare for this one either. State 2 characteristics of desktop or personal computers that make them popular among computer users. 2 characteristics of desktop or personal computers that make them popular among computer users. I can tell you the first one, and that's why I say this is a logical thing, the price. And it's the price and availability makes desktop and personal computers very popular among computer users, and that would be one, right? The second one would be the ability to customize it to meet the needs. So if I needed, say for example, I needed more speed on mine, I could go buy extra RAM. I need extra storage space because I'm doing a lot of processing. I need to store information. I can go get extra storage devices, flash drives and things like those. I can customize my computer to my need. And I think those 2 characteristics, the ability to the price along with the accessibility, I can just go to any computer store and buy one. I can go on Amazon and just purchase one. It's easy to get, that's one. And it's accessible with a good price, that's one. And then I can customize it to meet my needs. That's the second characteristic that I believe makes them extremely popular. And I know I would get 2 marks if I put that on the paper. E says, state 2 areas where desktop and personal computers are widely used. Well, that's easy again. The students that are doing this exam, you're using desktops or personal computers at school. So it's widely used at school. And for persons like myself who work with these computers, I'm using it for work. So those are 2 areas very quickly that can be identified, and that would be 2 marks. Let's go to the other one. All right, I got a worksheet here. It says The information in worksheet 1 below shows the the total sales for each month for the months January, February, and March for 5 salespersons in their particular districts. For example, Kathleen Albert, a salesperson from Porto, Spain district, has sales of $1,925, $1,500, and $1,350 for the months of January, February, and March, respectively. The data in A1 to E8, A1 to E8, okay, I see that, of worksheet 2, yes, was summarized and reorganized from worksheet 1, the original worksheet, to allow for easier reading. And I'm looking at it now, I can see it. All right, I got it. All right, so I see it. I see a worksheet 1 with raw data, and then worksheet 2, I see summarized data. All right, good. The question now is for 1 mark. Identify the feature or function of the worksheet which was used to produce the summarized data in worksheet 2. Well, this one is simple again. This is Excel, and there's only one thing that we use for this. As I see it, I can know it. That's a pivot table. So a pivot table is used to create a summary of raw data. So that would be the answer to it, to number to 1 here. That's for 1 mark. State the information that is provided when a value in the grand total row of worksheet 2 is doubled. That's also a simple one. So if you do any practicing or if you use pivot tables at all, you will know that a pivot table is a summary, and if you double click on, when you double click a grand total in a pivot table, it simply opens a new worksheet and displays to you all the items that made up the summary. That's all that's going to happen there. So for another 1 mark, that's what you're going to get if you say that. All right. So double click the total value and it shows you everything that makes up the total in a pivot. Number 3 says, if the values in worksheet 1 are updated, the values in worksheet 2 are not automatically updated. State the 2 steps required in the correct order to manually update the values in worksheet 2. Alright, also, when we do a pivot table, if I go back to the original table and change a value, if I change a value, it doesn't update the pivot at all. Right? What you have to do is to go to the pivot table itself, right click it, select the pivot table, or you just right click the pivot and click refresh, and then it's updated. That's it. Yeah. Alright. So that's for another 2 marks. So that's the 2 steps you have to do. You just go to the pivot table and choose, it's selected. Right click the pivot table and choose and click refresh. 2 easy marks right there. It says complete the missing parameter. This is 4. Complete the missing parameters in the VLOOKUP formula for cell B10 of worksheet 2 to find the amount of sales made during the month of March by the person in cell A10. Complete the VLOOKUP. Now VLOOKUPs are used to you're looking for a certain value in a table. So what the first thing you're going to do, complete the missing parameters in the VLOOKUP formula for cell B10 of worksheet 2. Let's have a look and see what's in B10 of worksheet 2. To find the amount of sales made during the month of March by the person in cells A10. Alright, so I want to find the amount of sales made by the person in cell A10 using a VLOOKUP. So what I have to do is the first parameter has to be A10, right? That's the person I'm looking for. The second parameter has to be the area, the range that the information which contains this person is in. So the range is going to be, I would say, from A3 to E7 here. All right, so that's the second parameter. The third parameter is going to be what am I looking for? Which column do I want to display? So it says the amount of sales. So the third parameter has to be, I count the rows, A being 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I'm going to put 5 in there because I want the grand total, unless it said I wanted it off for March. So if it's March, it's going to be 4. A being 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. So the parameter 3 would be 4 in the VLOOKUP, and the final parameter is going to be false, meaning I want an exact match for the person who is in A10, and that will take care of it. This is a little bit more complicated, and so just to display it properly, I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, I have I'm gonna create the table in Excel. So stick around, and then I'm gonna display and show you exactly what I mean and how I got to that. All right, so I just recreated the information, typed it up in Excel here. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna sort of show you what's going on. I'm going to insert a pivot table, number 1, so you could see exactly what's going on. All right, so I'm going to create a pivot. Okay, I need the salesperson, I need the month, and I need the sales. I'm going to grab the sales month, put it over here, so I have the same looking thing that I had back there. And there we have it on the screen. I got all the people in here. All right. If I want to, just like the question was asking, VLOOKUP, sorry, equal VLOOKUP. And I want to put some things in there. So I want the person, we're trying to find Clement Davis. The table array is all of this. Okay. The column index that I want to display is 1, because column 1 is where Clement Davis information is, and I want an exact match, false. There it is, Clement Davis. Now if I want to see the sales that Clement made for the month of March, that's what I want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say equal VLOOKUP, same thing. I want Clement Davis. I'm going to use table array. The column I want is 1, 2, 3, 4, column 4. And I want an exact match. I want to see how much he made for the month of March. And that's it, 1,600. And that's how I do it. So that's how it works with the VLOOKUP. So it's not a difficult thing. It just requires some practice. You have to practice this in order to know what it's asking you for. Remember what the VLOOKUP is. In the VLOOKUP, it simply says the first parameter is what are you looking for, and you find that. That's the first parameter. Let me open it. I'm looking for this person. The second parameter is what's the table or the range that contains this person that you're looking for, you give it, followed by the column number that you want to display should you find this person. The column number is simply counting from that range. Each column is a number, so it's 1, 2, 3 going across, and that's what I want to show. And that's why I was able to show March, because March would be the 4th column. And I put false, meaning give me an exact match to who I'm looking for if you find them, and that takes care of it. So right there again, I would have gotten all 5 marks here. And here's the last one in question 1. State the change that should be made to parameter 3 in order to obtain the grand total for the person in cell A10. So let's go back to the Excel sheet. If I wanted to see the grand total and not just for March, I would simply say I would simply say, show me column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4 would be changed to 5, and that would give me the grand total for Clement Davis, just like I said there before. So what did we just do, and what did we achieve in the video today? We simply just went through, and that's 20 marks for you. If you did everything that I just showed you here, if you were able to apply yourself like this, that's the easiest 20 marks that you could have gotten in CSEC. Now I know it's gonna feel like that now, and I've been in IT for a while, so it comes a little bit easier for me. But all of this comes simply by practice. If you just stay focused on what you're doing, you put in the work, you watch the videos that we put out, you'll be just fine. What I'll do is I'll move on to question 2 on the next one. I'll go through question 2, but for now I just went through question 1 for 20 marks. Paper 2, question 2 will be next in an upcoming episode. itdesk.tv, unlocking doors.